Oi! Oi! Where do you think you're going? This is my spot. You can, take the other side. Just don't get greedy. What do you think? It's good material. Be a shame to leave it rotting in the ground. Doesn't hurt that it pays well, if the keepers don't catch you. But they're barely around anyway. Aye, it is. So what? It's just stone. Not like I'm chopping up the man himself. For a moment there, I was worried you were one of those knobs who get their panties in a twist over disrespecting a pile of stone. I can't stand their kind, but they've never gone hungry a day in their lives.
off the leash, are we? They must have had their fun with you. Who had you as their plaything? The church? The druids? Some band of cutthroats? But it doesn't matter now that you're free. I'm Abigail, a knight. I swore my sword to my lady's will, and she kept me close, until she had no more use for me. Now, I walk alone, but a shadow never strays too far. You look wretched, and you smell like death. I've seen people like you before. Broken, worn down, dragged through the mud. If you've had enough of it all, I could grant you an honorable death. In a proper duel, you lived like a cur, but you could die like a knight. Wouldn't that be just splendid? Just say the word. Yes, off you go.
Whoa, what's happening? In the name of the All-Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. But we don't just let anybody in, pal. You need to have, things, proof. Things to prove you're safe. For Haven. Yeah. This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly at this present moment, but it does look important. Very official. But I remember Fergus said something about all this, these emblems once. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person, on behalf of the keepers. You are a great friend to our home. Welcome. Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet, thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
The horns of the south, the crown jewel of these lands. We had barely laid the foundations of Tainted Grail when Seawall and his men had already built a lighthouse, eager to guide our ships to them. He always had a competitive spirit. Of course, it helped that he took every sailor from the homelands with him, along with a handful of knights, so they could learn from one another. And thus, the Keepers of the South were formed. I decreed that every sworn keeper would stand as an equal to a Knight of the Round Table. I doubt they still honor that law. But I am glad to see the keepers grown. In my time, there was only a lighthouse and barracks.
A new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, and more fish. I can live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses. Really? Sure, I remember it well. Here you go. Yes. Still tastes like shit. Exactly how my mother would make it. It's just what I needed. Oh, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's just that every time I doubt my service in the Horns of the South, I need a reminder of why I enlisted. My mother wasn't much of anything, to tell the truth. She always said I was good for nothing and that I should be glad she even kept me. And every day she'd bring back home a new uncle. Many of those uncles liked to kick me out of my own house when they were drinking and getting busy. Then, when she'd sober up and got rid of an uncle, she'd bake me that pie as an apology. It always tasted like shit. If the other villagers hadn't been feeding me, I would have starved to death. Hence the pie. I wouldn't know. When I left my village, I decided to never look back. So I just assumed one of those uncles finally beat her to death.
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Huh, that's surprising. But good. Very good. He's been a drunk for as long as I can remember. Keeps saying he'll stop, but he never does. At least not for long. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, This pin only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that pin in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other? Good. Come back when you've proven your worth to the Horns of the South. Then we'll talk. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand. There is a local legend about a dark druid named... Slaughter? Slaudier? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well... Sure, let's go with that. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem. Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you? It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know, ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right? Especially in this horrible weather.
Always good to have a little rest.
Are you here to keep me company or put me out of my misery? Just kidding. I love the view, but this weather is killing me. Always windy. Always moist. You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said, as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers. Whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay. And maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please. Oh, aye. I need a warm coat. And I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh? Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days. Stupid. That's what I was. I may or may not have commented on our blacksmith's skill. I gave him a blade to sharpen, and when I got it back, it was still dull. Osprey swore he did his job properly. I said he's getting old. And so on and so forth, until it turned out that my mate had played a trick on me, swapped my sword with another one that was as dull as a stump. I tried to make amends with Osprey, but the old man's pride is as stiff as his steel. Can't say I blame him. Now, here I am, frozen to the bone and in need of a hand. You got one to spare? Thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you.
Just another peaceful moment.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole.
Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened?
Huh. It's for Dan, isn't it? That ungrateful bastard's still on the wall.
Disagreement? Sure, you could call it that, and I guess I might have overreacted a bit.
But since Dan is on the wall and I'm here, I couldn't tell him that I get it. The prank and all. And I forgave him a long time ago. Now that I think about it, it was a hell of a prank.
Well, he was right. I am old, but inefficient, stung a little bit. After all, I did my job well, and his sword is as sharp as Excalibur itself.
Well, I may not be angry with him anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll work my ass off so that his doesn't freeze. Here's an explanation of how to make it. Feel free to help him out yourself.
Always a pleasure to... new face. I haven't seen you before. It depends on who's asking and why. No, I'm kidding. I don't meet many outsiders these days. I'm Marg, a hunter in the service of the Horns of the South. I don't know what it is about this place, but even the dead hardly ever get any rest. Though I'll admit, it's getting worse lately. They keep emerging from the local cemetery in numbers greater than that small plot of land ever held. So I'm guessing we might have a necromancer on our hands. And here I thought after the Charred Conclave, we'd have more than 100 years of peace from them. Only every century or so. But even that's too often if you ask me. Something seems to draw them here. Well, it's probably all that death. The South has always been restless. And after what happened with the sunken village, I guess death has seeped into the very soil of this land. Must be quite alluring for that lot. Good. Try not to die. That undead swarm doesn't need any more recruits.
goes there? Are you the one... You should be. These folks fell into their eternal slumber a long time ago. But some of them have turned out to be very light sleepers. Not their fault, but we should at least try not to wake them up. I'm telling you, ever since people started burning their dead, it's like they've forgotten proper manners in places like this. Interested in local history, are you? Good, good. The memory of those who came before us should be preserved. I can let you in. There is a small fee of 5 gold coins, for the upkeep of the cemetery, of course. It's constant work, as you can clearly see, and my petitions for additional funds seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Bless you, kind stranger. Those old bones are not what they used to be. Here, just take the key. Be careful, though. There's evil dwelling in those crypts. Oh, and I hope I don't need to remind you not to rob any graves. It's terribly rude, and I'd rather not deal with the complaints. I know everything that happens here. If you're looking for some juicy gossip, Becca from the 3rd row south still has no idea where her husband is. They were supposed to be buried together, you see, but he never showed up. The scoundrel. Everyone here thinks he got remarried and chose to rest with his second wife. Not me. I think he probably got eaten. Oh, that would be Master. He's been at his experiments again, I'm afraid. Getting the folks around here all agitated. Putting them back to sleep again is going to be such a chore. Master is Master. He commands the dead. I don't know much else. I'm here to serve, not to ask questions. You want me to betray his trust that easily? We barely know each other. I wouldn't tell you even if I could. Dunno. Usual. Glowing chalk, candles, and dead bodies. I even saw some new faces recently, but they didn't stay long. Because it's my purpose. The sole reason I was brought back. That has never changed, just as I haven't. But I'm happy where I am. The dead need company too, you know. The folks here were forsaken by the living. At least I can make sure they're not lonely. My name's Huardok, and I am the keeper of this place. I look after the dead, or at least, I try to. It used to be much easier where they stayed in one place. Now I need to keep making sure they don't stray too far from the cemetery. But I'm not complaining. A little exercise is good for the body. Dead, alive, what's the difference? I am here. I always have been, and I always will be, until the day I'm released from my service. Truth be told, I'm not quite sure. Has it been a long time since the wave came and swallowed the village? That was when people stopped coming here. It's like the sea washed away the memory of this place as well. I don't remember much of what happened afterwards. I must have fallen asleep for a while.
careful there. Try not to step on the array. It's advanced magic. Very fragile.
Stop. Well, what I am doing here is very important. Besides, I'm hardly hurting anyone. Well, anyone that matters, that is. That is a gross oversimplification. I am conducting valuable research, and yes, I do get rid of vermin and give their sorry existence some actual meaning. Posthumously, but, well, as they say, better late than never, right? Don't tell me you care about the lives of a few bandits. I'm not desecrating anything. It's just flesh. There's nothing sacred about it in the first place. It starts decaying the moment you die. I'm merely prolonging its usefulness. And I've made some tremendous breakthroughs. I know people fear this kind of magic, but it creates so many new possibilities. It could change the meaning of life and death.
Give those who die prematurely more time with their loved ones. We could learn to live without the fear of dying. We could treat death not like an end, but like a new beginning.
Don't enjoy it either. It's messy, and it takes up far too much time that could be better devoted to my research. Think about it this way. People who wrought so much misery on others could end up bettering the lives of everyone. I've made some tremendous breakthroughs. Oh, please. Is that the only thing people can think of when it comes to necromancy? What use would I have with an army? My ambition isn't to command the dead, but death itself. I aim to make Avalon a place where people won't have to fear it anymore. The problem is, I keep missing something. Raising the dead is easy, but I don't want mindless minions. I want truly living undead. Yet no matter what I do, it just won't work. Nonsense. The process, as you aptly called it, holds no secrets from me. I have studied its every stage, every aspect, all while keeping meticulous records. It's almost insulting how straightforward it is, how little variety there is at its very core. Death truly does make all of us equal. And yet, capturing the connection between the flesh and the spirit continues to elude me. No matter how I approach it. I've even tried to force it, but to no avail. Warduk. You mean the servant? I'm not sure where you got that idea, but he is indeed merely a minion. Quite a sophisticated one, I'll admit, but he's never said more than 2 words to me. Fine. If you wish to waste your time with him, go ahead. Who knows, maybe his first master simply forbade him from speaking his mind. Still, don't hold your breath for any groundbreaking insights. Any revelations?
Yes, I felt that. He must have been surprised. People like him tend to forget that it can happen to them too. It seems so. But before you go, I have a small favor to ask. As you can see, there's quite a commotion around here. I'm afraid I won't be able to fulfill all my duties before I need to rest again. Could you take what remains of the Master and place him in a special crypt I've prepared? If you feel so inclined, a few kind words about him would be welcome. Here's the key. Well, goodbye, then. And thank you for stopping by. It was truly appreciated. Though we are dead, we still enjoy having a visitor from time to time. It's nice to be remembered, even if just for a little while.
Yes? Did you find out what's been happening out there? Great. A necromancer. Just what we needed. It wasn't the dark druid from the legends, was it? Ha! That's what I like to hear. If he's dead, that's the only thing that matters. We already have the Dalriada almost on our doorstep. We don't need an army of the undead to boot. You did well. Maybe it's not so bad having you here. You've done your part in proving your worth. All right. You deserve the truth. You won't find the captain at the Horns of the South. He ordered us to lock down the keep, and then he disappeared. I have my suspicions about where he might be, but I can't say for sure. And frankly, I hope I'm wrong. I don't like your tone, my friend. But all right. I suspect he's at the All-Mother's Temple. But I will warn you. If he's not dead already, I'm pretty sure you'll be if you decide to go there. That's where the Dalriada tribes are holed up, and they're not known for their kindness. And if you do find the captain, tell him to return to the Horns of the South as soon as possible. Galahad the Pure is already on his way, and he won't be pleased to find a bunch of keepers hiding behind the walls without their commander. We'll all face consequences if that happens.